Welcome to the Get Recruited 365 vlog, here with the Who's Got Next Spotlight. I am here with Class of 2017 prospect, Mr. Dennis Collins. Dennis, how you doing, man?
Doing fine. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Glad to finally catch up with you. Got a lot to discuss, a lot going on with you. I mean, one of the top prospects around in this area in the Class of 2017. For those coaches who don't know that much about you, kind of give them your height, your weight, and your position.
6'3", 240-pound defense man at West Monroe High School.
Definitely at West Monroe, and if you know anything about that West Monroe Rebel program, you know they always keep about 4 or 5 guys in the class that are just those super stout athletes, and Dennis Collins is definitely one of those guys that continues that legacy out there at the West Monroe High School. All right, let's go ahead and kind of get into it. You told me off camera that you had some stuff going on in the summer. You've been to some camps, and you got some camps that you're kind of coming into as the summer goes on. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I went to Alabama camp. I think I did pretty fine up there. But next month, I will be attending Georgia and LSU football camp.
Definitely, and I know a lot of people are going to be excited to hear you mention the name LSU around here. Obviously, you know, the state of Louisiana, people love that. But you're one of those young men who's open to the idea of perhaps leaving the state if it's about the right fit. And you know, you got plenty of time, so you're not rushing to make any decisions. Just kind of weighing your options, going down there, letting the coaches know you, see what you can do on the field, letting them know that, hey, you know, I'm a student as well. With that in mind, talk to coaches about your GPA as well as your ACT score.
Right now, my core GPA is like a 3.4, and on the ACT I made a 20.
Definitely. See, this is an athlete who's doing it on the field as well as off the field. You know, I'm very impressed with the fact that not only he has the football skill that he has, but in the classroom, that he's putting in the work that really matters with a 3.4 core GPA as well as a 20 already on the ACT. This is a guy who comes into a program already academically qualified, already come in ready to make a difference. Kind of when I talked to you off camera, you said you had some schools showing interest. Actually, I've already had some schools offered. Kind of go through a list of some of the schools that are showing interest and some that have offered.
Right now, I hold off from Louisiana Tech and Jackson State, and a few schools that showing interest: Florida State, Arkansas, and Bama, LSU,
Okay.
Georgia.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some powerhouse programs. For those schools that are showing interest and that have actually already offered Dennis, we want to take time and thank those programs, thank those coaching staff for kind of putting in the due diligence on a young man like Dennis, realizing early on that even though, you know, he's class 2017, that he's the type of difference maker for a program that you want to get onto very, very early on. And with his particular campaign, we know it's going to continue to heat up. A lot more schools are going to get onto the Dennis Collins train, wanting to offer their young man an opportunity to play for their school. And kind of like I said before, he's going to do his due diligence. With that being said, are you kind of willing to commit early to a program, or will you wait? Kind of what are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I commit early to a program if it feels like a right fit for me.
Definitely, and I know coaches will be excited to hear that you know, if you come in with the right proposal, you come in, you know, saying what a young man like Dennis is going, how he's going to succeed in your program, not just on the field, but as well as a student as well, that he's willing to commit early, and that's big. We've had athletes around this area that have kind of committed early, so maybe it's a trend, I don't know, but you coaches, you definitely want to try to get them in and see if you can go ahead and lock them into a scholarship offer. Let's talk a little bit of football. What were some of your stats last season? Do you remember how many tackles you had, how many sacks? I know it's not really, you're not really a big stat guy, but kind of give us a ballpark figure of what you did on the field.
I have around 65 tackles and about 5 or 6 sacks.
Wow. You know, that's big time production from, you know, from a very, very young player, still kind of learning as he grows. I was looking at his highlights, and you can kind of tell as the season went on, this was a young man who was beginning to figure it out. The game was kind of slowing down for him. He was able to read and see what offensive lines were trying to do in terms of trying to block him, take him out of plays, and then doing what was necessary at certain times to make the play himself or set his teammates up for position so that they can make the tackle and so that the team can be successful. All right, let's talk a little bit about a player comparison. Who do you feel like your game is like? It could be somebody at the professional level, could be somebody at the college level. Who do you feel like your game is like?
Justin Tuck.
Justin Tuck, all right, a little old school with the Justin Tuck, but hey man, this was definitely a playmaker, you know what I mean? Everybody knows Justin Tuck was always making sacks. Why do you feel like your game is like Justin Tuck?
Well, it's just the hard nose, the edge he got plays a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and that's one of the things as the coaches get the opportunity to see your highlight film, that's what you do. You play with a chip on your shoulder. Kind of, one of those guys that's not really one of those rah-rah guys. That guy that's going to go out there and say, if a play needs to be made, I'm going to go out there and make the play. Okay, Dennis, what kind of player are coaches getting when they sign a young man like yourself?
They get a player with a high motor and a work ethic that's second to none.
Definitely, as we continue to talk off camera, as I mentioned earlier, he's one of those guys that's not going to thrill you with the rah-rah. He's not just going to tell you what you want to hear. He's going to be an open, honest guy that's going to go out on the field, do what he's supposed to do what it takes in order to make the big plays and help the team win overall. Let's talk a little bit about college. Do you have an idea what you want to major in right now?
Probably sports broadcasting.
Okay, sports broadcasting. So definitely want to try to take your career off the field and use it to your advantage as well. Talk to us a little bit about why sports broadcasting.
It ain't really just too much that I can see myself doing outside sports broadcasting and coaching.
Yeah, definitely. That love for the game. Want to continue to help build up the game by being a sports broadcaster, or as you mentioned, being a coach. Definitely being influential. I mean, I'm sure a lot of coaches have helped, get you to this point, especially along with like family, help build you up to this point, and that's a good thing to hear. That you want to give back to the game that's already producing a lot of things for you. Now, for those coaches who are out there that have watched this video, that have come across the name Dennis Collins, what is a way that they can contact you if they want to say, go ahead and try to find out more about you, or if they even want to send an offer? How can they contact you?
Yeah, they can get my Twitter at @KingCollins_.
Okay, definitely. We'll make sure we put that Twitter handle up on the screen as well to make sure you have the most accurate information out there about Dennis Collins. This is a name that you're going to continue to hear more about. I mean, he's one of those rising cream of the crop guys in the entire state of Louisiana as it relates to the class of 2017. This is a marquee name. This is a marquee player. He's got the grades with that 3.4 GPA. Already a 20 on the ACT. I know he's going to continue to take it again to get a higher score, which will continue to help him. He's going to continue to build up on the field as well. He's at a great program. Got a great family structure that he comes from. This is a program maker. This is a difference maker for a program. This has been the Get Recruited 365. Who's got next spotlights? That's Dennis Collins. I'm Marc Beckwith. We'll see you.